Hi, my name is Avery Ash, and for this week's Interactive Advanced Concept presentation, you're going to be talking about a class of drugs called carbidopa and the treatment of Parkinson's disease. So Parkinson's disease is a progressive disease of the nervous system, and it affects movement. It usually starts with tremors, and as time goes on, it leads to muscle stiffness, slowing of movement, impaired posture and balance, and speech and writing changes. These symptoms are caused by certain neurons that produce dopamine in our brains, either breaking down and or dying. Carbidopa is one part of a drug cocktail that's used to treat Parkinson's. Since lack of dopamine is what causes the symptoms of Parkinson's disease, we need a way to create more dopamine in the brain. So there's a class of drugs called levodopa, which are central nervous system agents, and these can be converted into dopamine in the brain, and that reduces the symptoms of Parkinson's. Carbidopa is a class of drugs which are decarboxylase inhibitors that negate the side effects of levodopa by preventing it from breaking down before it reaches the brain. So carbidopa doesn't do anything on its own to our bodies. It works in tandem with levodopa. Levodopa can cross the blood-brain barrier, unlike just straight dopamine, and carbidopa also can't cross this barrier. The carbidopa attaches to the levodopa to keep it from breaking down before it gets to the brain. And once it gets there, the levodopa is able to enter in and go through its normal process of becoming dopamine. And the reason we want to prevent levodopa from metabolizing too early is to make sure it is its most effective in treating the Parkinson's symptoms, and B, to reduce its own side effects, which can include vomiting, diarrhea, abdominal pain, and heart arrhythmias. So the neurons that connect the striatum, which is the part of your brain that makes decisions about motor movements, and the substantia nigra, which is the part of your brain that makes dopamine. In these neurons, tyrosine is converted to L-dopa, and L-dopa is converted into dopamine, and then the dopamine is sent into the extracellular matrix over to the receiving neuron. Levodopa can be converted into dopamine before it gets to the blood-brain barrier by two different enzymes, peripheral depocarboxylase, which is DDC, or by catechol-O-methyltransferase, which is COMT. Carbidopa stops the DDC from metabolizing levodopa, and some patients will also be prescribed entacapone, which inhibits COMT, and this makes levodopa even more efficient. Here is an image of what I just described. You can see in normal times, tyrosine becomes L-dopa, becomes dopamine, which goes into the next neuron. Oops. And some of it gets reabsorbed back into the neuron or is metabolized by other enzymes. But when this isn't working and we need to send in our own dopamine, we send in levodopa. Carbidopa latches on and prevents DDC from metabolizing it too early. And entacapone also latches on to prevent COMT from metabolizing it too early. So unfortunately, my computer wasn't able to run the Chimera program, but I did find an interactive model online that can show. So this is L-dopa and all the ribbons, and then these little balls are these are the carbidopa latching on to prevent the enzymes from latching on and then metabolizing. This website won't let me do all of the cool things you were showing in the Chimera tutorial video, but it's still good to get a visual of what it looks like. So yeah, there's a lot of that running around in our bodies, which is kind of cool. And yeah, so here's my sources. Oops. Here's my sources. Thanks for coming along with me while I learn about Parkinson's and the different drugs that are used to treatment, and have a good rest of your